So I'm curious, I understand, I know that in my campus and in many of the other campuses, presidents or the administration had sent out emails talking about how faculty is not able to use class time to talk about the strike. And my understanding is that that's an infringement of their rights to academic freedom. I'm wondering with that and with the fact that our campuses and the Chancellor's office, it seems neglected to tell us both about their rights to academic freedom in this vein and also about the mental health services supports that might be hindered during the strike. Is this a reflection of what's going on as far as a lack of communication with the administration? I don't understand, I guess, why we haven't been properly informed about these issues that are so crucial to students.
Yeah, so, I mean, boy, it is such a nuanced answer on a very important piece. Let me try. First of all, I think it's absolutely imperative that faculty talk to students about whether they're going to have their class or not, or if there's going to be alternative assignments or not, and things of that nature. So faculty writ large should be communicating, or they may say to their students, look, I'm not participating in the strike. And class will be held, and you have to decide what my expectation is, because I expect you to be in class all the time anyhow. My expectation is you're here. So I mean, I think there needs to be a conversation, faculty by faculty, class by class, about how that class is going to go through these 5 days. Now, that's not only appropriate, but it seems absolutely important and professional thing to do. It's not okay for a faculty member to say to me, I'll be the student, Tim, in order for you to pass this class, you need to walk the picket line on Friday. That's any sort of direct requirement to take the CFA side or to take the CSU side is inappropriate. It's not okay to say, Tim, if you participate voluntarily, you get extra credit. If it's a class in journalism and the faculty member finds it appropriate academically, say, I'd like you to go out during your class time and observe the picket line and the interaction with the picket line and other people walking by, and then write a 500-word news article on what you see. That's exactly appropriate, because then the faculty member is rightly saying, here's a natural laboratory for journalism. Let's go out and take advantage of the moment we have on campus. Or if it's a poli-sci class dealing with public unions or anything that ties to the academic nature of the class that makes intellectual and academic sense, that's perfectly defensible. But if I'm a professor of, when I was at Berkeley, muscle biology, it would have been hard pressed for me to have sent my class out instead of coming to class to go out and observe a labor management dispute and relate it to the academic content of my class. Now, I suppose I could have said, I'd like you to watch this and observe how many steps they take and do the caloric calculation and tell me the metabolic equivalent of what it takes to be on strike. That would be a stretch, wouldn't it? And so that's why I answer the question with different examples, because I want the faculty and their chairs and their colleagues to decide, is this a natural laboratory where students can actually benefit by observation versus being directed to do something that is against their individual ability to decide what side they're on, if any, and whether they want to participate in the strike or not. We just can't use public resource to push a political agenda. And you can't tell students, let's go back to this journalism class, and say, we're going to have our journalism class, and in order for it out on the picket line, and in order to have class, you need to find me in the picket line and pick up a sign and wear a red shirt and walk with me as we have class. That would be a violation. It crosses the line of direct participation being forced. And you can't argue well, it's just a class. Well, but if they're carrying a picket sign wearing a red shirt, they can't unscramble that egg and dissociate from looking like they're actually part of the action. And so that's why I think clear minds, and we had this conversation with the academic, I had the conversation with the academic senate the other day. I think we're going to be fine. I think faculty will know exactly how to manage this. I have all the respect and confidence that they know how to do it. But they can't force a student, and they can't make a student have anything to do with their progress to finishing the class or their grade associated before, during, or after when a student has chosen to or not to participate in any sort of work stoppage.
Well, really quickly.
Yeah, so I understand.
Is that helpful?
Well, I understand that faculty cannot compel students to participate in the strike.
Let me just ask you a question. Was that helpful or not?
It just didn't really answer my question.
Okay, so why don't you ask it again?
Right, so my question was more along the lines, our president, for example, sent out an email that explicitly said, classroom time cannot and should not be used by faculty to discuss issues related to the strike. So that's less so about forcing students to participate in the strike. I just don't understand why administration is telling us that faculty simply cannot talk about the strike at all.
Because if that is relevant to the course content, yes. If it's not relevant to the course content, then no, not in class time. Because students have paid for that class time to study accounting, something unrelated to the moment. Faculty could say, after class I'm going to hold a coffee clutch and tell you why I think the strike is so important and so forth. That's great. But you can't use academic time to push a political point of view. That's against really a variety of CSU policies.